hairy creature. In the silence of the palace, the horror you never dared to imagine is about to be revealed. What if the monster of the story wasn't the wolf, nor the witch, but your own father? What if fleeing danger meant abandoning everything you love, donning the skins of 1,000 animals and hiding your own beauty under soot, just to have the right to survive? Do you think fairy tales are just fantasy? Then stay, because from now on you will discover what it is to be pursued by the desires of others and what it takes to avoid losing your own soul. Have you ever felt imprisoned by a desire that wasn't yours? What would you do if everything that seemed like love turned into a threat, and your own brilliance, your greatest danger? In a distant court governed by the laws of desire and tradition, a princess is born, the daughter of a golden-haired queen. From a young age, she learns that her worth lies not only in her virtue, but in the radiance of her mother and her own hair. With the queen's untimely death, all that remains for the king is her golden reflection, projected onto her daughter as an impossible replacement. The king's grief is a mixture of pain and obsession, until his gaze ceases to be paternal and becomes invasive. In silent rituals, he begins to demand of his daughter not only beauty, but absolute resemblance, that she not only look like, but that she be the wife he lost. The space between protection and invasion is dissolving. The princess feels the growing weight of the gaze. He realizes that his father's affection is gradually ceasing to be caring and is becoming a project, a desire, a threat. In the kingdom, servants begin to whisper, the halls close, the gold of their hair becomes a fetish and a promise. She knows that if she refuses, she risks not only an incestuous marriage, but the destruction of her own life. On a cold night, the king makes the proposal. I want you to be my wife. No one is better than you to replace your mother. The young woman cannot deny it directly. Any clear gesture could be a death sentence. So he resorts to a stratagem. He will only accept if he receives impossible gifts. Dresses as golden as the sun, as silver as the moon, and as bright as the stars. And also a cloak made of 1,000 skins, each animal in the kingdom contributing to the work. The father, consumed by obsession, accepts the challenge. He uses all the kingdom's resources and, in a few days, delivers all the gifts to his daughter. The princess realizes, no matter how impossible it may seem, the king's desire surpasses any obstacle. There is no more time. The wedding will be tomorrow. What would you do if everyone around you was determined to trap you in a story that isn't yours? If your only way out was to invent obstacles but they were destroyed by the obsession of others, where would you find the strength to survive? The princess decides to run away. She prepares her farewell. She keeps the impossible dresses inside a coconut shell, dons the cloak of 1,000 furs and covers her face with soot, hiding her beauty behind revulsion. Leaving behind the realm of threat, she escapes into the night with everything she can carry, not gold, not titles, but her own identity in fragments. The princess walks through the cold night, each step echoing the urgency of someone who knows she cannot look back, who has never felt the terror of being recognized by their own blood, when all they want is to celebrate their own existence. Amidst rough skin and a face covered in soot, she bids farewell to everything she knew. The golden room, the distant maternal advice, the parties that turned into funerals for her freedom. The coconut shell held against her chest contains not only dresses, it holds memories, hopes, and a future that cannot yet be dreamed. The journey is wild, aimless, without shelter, sleeping in hollow trees. The young woman reconfigures every gesture, transforming fragility into defense, beauty into invisibility, shedding her own name to wear only instinct. Days of biting cold and nights of hunger, terrors and silences in the forest. The fear of her father becomes a shadow. The desire to belong is converted into a faint hope of survival. Hunters from the neighboring kingdom cross her path when she already looks more wolf than princess. They notice a pile of pelts, a strange and vulnerable being, hesitating between risk and compassion. There, beneath layers of dirt and animalistic fur, they discover a woman, malnourished, exhausted, her gaze somewhere between emptiness and defiance. The new king, out of pity or curiosity, orders her to be taken to the palace. Without knowing who she was or who she is, he welcomes her into the dirtiest and saddest corners of the court. Now, Hairy Beast is a servant. He trades his royal robes for a tattered apron, the routine of princes for the life of the invisible, cleaning stables, collecting garbage, washing pots until his hands bleed. Every order is humiliation. Every glance is judgment. But deep down, the castle of others is less dangerous than the castle he fled from. The nights become memories and nightmares. She dreams of golden dresses, but wakes up covered in soot. Have you ever needed to hide from the world to trade your essence for survival? To dim your light just to protect yourself? How many times has the fear of being seen been greater than the desire to be loved? The palace, though festive for some, is a battlefield for those who serve it. Bicho Peludo is the target of jokes, scorn, and suspicion, but he learns to map out his court, to forge silent alliances. He receives stale bread from the cook, kind words from an elderly seamstress, and coded advice from the humblest among us. She discovers that, anywhere in the world, invisible people recognize each other from afar. They exchange signals, share pain and hope. At a ball announced with great pomp, the entire court lights up. Hairy Creature asks the cook for permission to spy on the party for just a moment. He grants him the brief interval, provided he returns quickly to finish the work. In seconds, she runs to the hidden little room, opens the coconut shell, dons the golden robes like the sun, wipes her face, and emerges into the party as what she always was, a daughter of gold, of the sacred, of the impossible. On the track, everyone falls silent before the radiant presence. The king of the new palace has eyes only for her. They dance together, and each turn seems to give the princess back everything she lost in her escape. When her time runs out, before she can be questioned, she returns to anonymity. She dons the soot once more and takes her place among the invisible. What mask did you have to wear to avoid losing everything that makes you who you are? And when you had the chance to shine, were you able to maintain your own identity? Or did you retreat under the weight of secrecy? The narrative unfolds. Each ball, a new apparition. Each night, a dilemma. The princess learns about the real world, its laws, its pacts, the value of silence and cunning. Meanwhile, the king, increasingly fascinated by the mysterious golden figure, begins a quest. Who is that woman who ascends the hall and disappears in the dust of the servants? Days turn into weeks, and Bicho Peludo alternates between two worlds, the world of hidden beauty and the world of nameless survival. At each ball, Hairy Beast dances not only with the king, but with her own memories. Gold gleams in her hands, but the fear of being discovered is as real as the weight of each skin she carries. She observes the hall, as if peeking into her own future. She knows that the desire surrounding her here is different from the one that overwhelmed her childhood, but it has the same potential to devour everything she has conquered. Between one ball and another, the routine of humiliations and resistance continues. The cook becomes a confidant. A deaf maid teaches him sign language, and together, in anonymity, they build a code for survival. His hands, wounded by cleaning, are strengthened by small acts of solidarity. The other servants also perceive the duality. Everyone has a secret or a hidden version of themselves. Examples of suffering multiply: the seamstress who loved in silence and was replaced by a younger woman, the gardener who lost children and plants flowers as if building altars to his own pain. The court, behind the spotlights, is made of hidden wounds, unspoken desires, and interrupted dreams. How many times has your best self been stifled by the need to go unnoticed? Who saw you in your shining moments, and who protected you during the darkest days? What does life demand so that we can dance to the next ball without forgetting the way back home? At one of the balls, the king, fascinated by the mysterious woman, offers her a jewel. She accepts but returns to anonymity before the night ends. The jewels accumulate, hidden in coconut shells next to the dresses. discrete symbols of each silent victory. In the court, rumors grow. Who could this woman be, capable of transforming the entire atmosphere with her presence and silence? The mystery deepens, and finally the king decides to investigate thoroughly. He sends guards to pursue any maid who leaves the corners of the party. But Bicho Peludo knows the game of escape and survival better than anyone. She uses alternative routes, relies on allies, and remains invisible. The trigger is ignited on a stormy night. A longer ball, a more intense dance, a look from the king revealing not only desire, but compassion. Hairy Beast hesitates. Is allowing herself to be seen accepting the chance to be loved or repeating the cycle of the past? The memory of her father, the golden castle, the impossible dresses mingles with the present. Escape or reunion, to disappear or to exist. The text grows in intensity. Each ball is a ritual of reconciliation between pain and desire. Each hard task is a reminder that escape can be reinvented as resistance. The servants share more confessions, and the palace becomes a stage not only for parties, but for encounters between failures and dreamers. Bicho Peludo learns that no beauty is definitive. Every escape requires renewed courage, and every secret only survives until the day someone decides to tell it. What holds you back? The fear of the past, or the hope for a new perspective? Are you more what you hide or what you one day decide to show the world? Meanwhile, the king begins a personal quest for the origins of the Golden Woman. He investigates legends, questions servants, and reviews old archives. In each clue, he finds fragments of other stories of women forced to flee from fathers, husbands, and masters. The tale of Bicho Peludo becomes a collective chronicle. The girl who escaped her father's desire is also a reflection of those who escape ancestral, social, and contemporary threats. The palace becomes a mirror of the culture of secrecy. Everyone has something to hide, to reinvent, to protect. And always, for every pain, there is a dance, a ball, a chance, however short, to be who you are. At the most anticipated ball of the year, the king prepares a definitive test. A mixture of expectation and mystery, he decides that no one can leave the hall without being identified. All the maids, all the servants, all are summoned to present themselves. The dance begins tensely. Every glance is sought, every gesture scrutinized. Hairy Beast, feeling the pressure, hesitates. He knows that the escape may have come to an end. She dons her silver dress, as silvery as the moon this time, and with more care than ever removes every speck of soot from her face. For a moment she feels whole, not divided between beauty and dirt, not separated between princess and servant. On the dance floor, she notices the converging gazes, the voices falling silent, the king approaching slowly, in a gesture of someone who perceives something beyond the surface. The king takes her hands. His touch is not brutal, not invasive. There is compassion there. He asks softly who she is, and for the first time since her escape, Hairy Beast doesn't lie. With a trembling voice, she whispers her name, her profession, her pain. She speaks of the abandoned kingdom, of her father consumed by desire, of the nights spent on the run, of her days as a servant, of the hope of being seen by those who truly matter. The entire hall falls silent. The secret is finally revealed. The king, far from condemning her, kneels beside her. He says he understands, asks forgiveness on behalf of all those who force someone to hide in order to live. The servants wipe away tears. The guests avert their gazes. The ball transforms into a collective rite of passage. What stories were you forced to hide? What identity did you protect out of fear, survival, or self-love? What would it be like if there were at least one prom night where everyone could finally be who they are? The news spreads. The palace, once only a place for balls, is now a space for healing rituals. Each new event brings not only music and festivities, but nights of stories. Survivors recount their escapes. Children display their scars. Adults confess forbidden loves and atavistic fears. The king proposes a pact to Bicho Peludo. No more obligations, No more orders, only freedom of choice. She accepts, but imposes one condition: to build in the center of the court a garden of discarded skins where each person can plant their story and harvest love instead of pain. In the garden, the furs, once a symbol of escape, become rugs where children play and adults revisit memories. The princess's golden hair is braided together with other hair, from ordinary people and special people alike. There, every ball is also a celebration of what was, what could be, and what is invented in the present. The queen's servant, now just a woman, begins to receive those who arrive, fleeing, lost, broken. The palace becomes a refuge, a center for listening, a model for other courts and villages, and the story that began with pain becomes a sharing. No longer escape, but reunion. No longer secret, but ritual. The story grows in volume, each encounter in the garden, an expanded narrative. There is room for mothers who carry the pain of their daughters, for fathers who ask for forgiveness, for servants who become masters. Historically, each chapter is a rupture in the cycle of trauma. Escapes are transformed into reunions, skins into cloaks of celebration, dances into spaces of collective healing. What if your most painful story could become a garden? Who would you invite to dance upon your old wounds, now no longer a threat but a living part of your power? The renovated palace of Bicho Peludo, now queen by choice and recognition, transforms into a temple of redemption. The parties are less about appearances, more about truth. New balls alternate with nights of shared silence, where each guest is free to recount their journey of escape, pain, and rebirth. Children sit with their mothers to hear about old fears. Fathers confess to their children the pressure of their own past. Furs become tapestries. Impossible dresses are displayed as works of art, not of ostentation, but of courage. On every corner, voices once silenced meet. A girl fleeing domestic abuse finds refuge. A boy rejected for being different dances without shame. A servant girl, once humiliated, mentors newcomers. There, the certainty intertwines that no one deserves to bear the burden of escape alone. Everyone has the right to their own dance, their own garden. Bicho Peludo dedicates himself to listening to the stories of strangers, identifying patterns that previously belonged only to his own trauma. He notices mothers who love too much out of fear of abandonment, fathers who only know how to protect by destroying what is most delicate, children who grow up without the right to make mistakes. He also notices families that rebuild themselves through dialogue, friendships born from the recognition of secrets, communities that give names and space to scars. Each week, a new story. Each account from neighboring villages brings versions of skins used to survive. In the center of the garden, Hairy Beast plants flowers for each visitor who dares to tell their story. At the ball, he distributes symbolic dresses to those who choose to dance with their own history. Gold for those who are reborn, silver for those who forgive, and starry for those who dream without apologizing. Former servants are now masters of ceremony. Once illustrious guests learn to applaud, to celebrate, to cry together. Have you ever considered that your pain, shared at the right gathering, becomes a collective force? That secrecy only isolates you until the moment you exchange silence for sharing? With each season, the castle garden becomes a destination for pilgrims of all ages, backgrounds, and origins. Teachers, therapists, artists, and dreamers mingle on stage, reinventing the tale of Bicho Peludo for modern times. Sometimes it's the woman who survived abuse, sometimes the young man who resisted exclusion, sometimes a family rebuilding itself based on mutual respect. Stories adapt, skins change owners, dances never end. The cycle of reinvention, and not escape, is the great triumph of history. The video encourages viewers to revisit their escapes, to look at the skins they wore, the dances they missed, the gardens they wish to plant. It suggests that no one needs to go on alone, that there is room not only for pain, but for celebration. Finally, Bicho Peludo embraces each visitor to the palace garden, symbolizing that the welcoming atmosphere is made of listening, liberation, and joy. Contemporary examples abound, from support groups to digital spaces where stories are received without judgment, from social movements to welcoming projects. Each version of the story responds to the collective call for more truth, more listening, more celebration, where no one needs to hide. The story of Hairy Beast doesn't end with marriage nor with public consecration. It ends in the collective embrace of recognized and accepted stories. The palace ceases to be a scene of pain, and times of transformation become celebrated. The balls, once marked by masks and secrets, become rituals of unmasking, parties where each scar is revered. The protagonist is not only a heroine for having escaped, but for having returned, rebuilt, and opened space so that others can exist without needing to hide. The psychological epic concludes by showing each visitor to the garden dancing around the hanging skins and dresses. The scene is one of genuine joy, the achievement of self-worth and liberation from ancestral guilt. It doesn't matter which skin you needed to wear. What matters is that you no longer need to. The cycle is collective, and healing happens in the encounter, in listening, in recognizing the pains and glories of others. The story transcends the ancient tale. It becomes a manual for survival and creation, allowing the viewer to apply to their own life the courage to flee, resist, and above all, celebrate. Each episode lived, each secret told, each forgiveness offered, transforms the palace and the world into a space where no one needs to wear animal skins again to be loved or respected. The garden flourishes, the dances multiply, and Bicho Peludo smiles at the screen, inviting viewers to share their own story below in the comments, or at least with someone they trust, because every secret, when told, can ultimately become a garden, a celebration, and freedom. If this story resonated with you or touched upon your wounds, subscribe to the channel, share it, and tag someone special. Your story deserves to flourish too. Until the next story and the next dance.